if you have somebody in your life that you think is no longer essential, is toxic, or is negative, and you need to cut them off, watch this video. If you know somebody else that maybe is thinking about cutting somebody off their life, share this video with them. Hey guys,
welcome back to my channel.
Fuck it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ellorosetv. If you're new to this channel, make sure that you subscribe. You can tell by the title of this video, we're just gonna be talking about some tips on how to cut somebody off. Because sometimes it's necessary, and especially during this quarantine time, you really get to see who is and isn't there for you. So it's a good time to kind of see who you need to take off your friends list, okay? You know, when you used to go through them stages when you was teenager, had so much time to yourself, right? And you would just clean out your friends list and leave who was good, take out who was bad. That's what we gotta keep doing that throughout your life, because you definitely be meeting some rotten eggs. I know I do. So first things first, it's 100% okay to cut people out of your life. I know we definitely don't want to like burn any bridges with people. I never say to like cut somebody off in like a negative way. Like don't make it into like a drama situation, like as if you possibly can. I know you can't really control how other people handle situations. If you have to, obviously do it in like a really like stern way or whatever and cut them out of your life completely, cool. But this doesn't have to be like a negative thing, you know what I'm saying? If you need to just cut ties with somebody, that is okay. Like if you think that this person is no longer value of your life or is bringing negativity to your life in any kind of way, it's 100% okay to cut them off, okay? I know sometimes it can be hard to cut certain people out because for whatever reason, whether we're just comfortable with them, we're used to them or whatever, or we just can't bring ourselves to cut them off even though we know we need to. I know that can be hard. Either way, it's okay to cut people off. Never think that you shouldn't. If you can not burn any bridges, I would say, you know, it's always good to do it that way. We don't want to make any enemies or anything like that. We're just trying to improve our life and keep it as healthy and happy as we possibly can. So never feel bad for having to cut somebody off, but we have to know when to do it. I think there's times where you can either cut people off too fast or not cut people off fast enough. So you definitely have to know where you are in that spectrum. Really kind of think to yourself why you want to cut this person off and how it will improve your life. You know what I'm saying? So you really have to know when the right time is to do it. It is best for you to cut someone else off on your own terms. I don't think it's ever a good thing where you let any kind of relationship, where it's a romantic or non-romantic relationship, when you have to cut, or even family as well. This goes for family as well. Sometimes you can't choose your family. So, you know, sometimes it's better to cut somebody else off on your own terms than it is for it to be like a forceful cutoff, where it's something that just got so bad that the whole bridge just burned and went into flames and you know what I'm saying? We don't want that. So I always try to avoid that as much as possible. I've definitely had a situation like that in my life, and that's not good, because even when you know somebody isn't good for you maybe right now, again, you never want to burn any bridges, because you don't know, people can change, things can happen in their lives, and you never know how they can be of benefit to you later in life and you to them. So I never like at all burning bridges with people. I sometimes keep in contact with people for a lot longer than maybe I should, but that's something that I'm learning, okay? I've gotten much better about that, but again, you never know how this person is gonna benefit you in your life and what lessons you're gonna learn from. So I don't like to burn any bridges, but it's definitely beneficial to cut some people off. And with that, like when you're too scared to cut somebody off, whether more towards a romantic relationship, but again, this can go for anybody, family, friends, when you're like too scared to cut somebody off because, you know, it's gonna be hard for you, or you know you're gonna miss them, or you're gonna miss the relationship that y'all had or whatever. I know that can be really hard, but you have to like not break yourself because you want to keep this person in your life. So you know this is a toxic person, or you know this person is bringing a lot of negative energy to your life, but you're just too scared to cut them off because you'll miss what you guys had. So you just keep them around, and it's really just gonna take a toll on you. So you don't want to have yourself break down because you just won't cut this negative part of your life out. So if you don't cut this person off, or let's say it's a situation where you never cut them off and it was kind of like you guys had a big blowout where you kind of was forced to like not have them in your life anymore. They're not in your life anymore anyways. You've burned the bridge, so now you probably will never talk to them again, whether they or you improve your life. And you didn't really learn anything from the situation because you were kind of forced to cut them out. You didn't really take the time to do those steps and have a conversation with them, and everything kind of just blew up for the both of you. So this can be a situation where you can end up repeating the cycle and meet another toxic person and now do the same thing all over again. We don't want that to happen. We don't want it to be just recycling toxic people in our lives. We want to be able to notice if there's something negative in our life, something or someone, and be able to cut it off accordingly. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to just keep doing this over and over again, because what kind of life is that? I don't. If you have control of the people that you keep in your life, you are learning from the mistakes that you made. Like, you're learning what happened to that relationship, whether it was your or their fault. You get to learn. Everything is about learning lessons in life, you know, learning and growing. When you have control over the people that you keep in your circle, you definitely get to learn some lessons on who you want and how you want to be treated by other people. But the main thing with cutting people off, the main thing, once you realize all of that, you realize and you notice who you need to cut off, why you need to cut them off, and how it would benefit your life. One thing you need to do before you cut them out of your life is just to have a conversation. It's very simple. One thing you need to do before you cut them out of your life is to have a conversation. Very simple. I know that the conversation might be a hard one, but it's just one simple thing that you need to do. And I promise you, it will probably be the best thing that you will do, because you will either have this conversation and you'll notice that maybe you or they didn't know a lot of things that were going on, or a lot of the root issues that you guys were having, and you can possibly mend a relationship instead of having to cut somebody else off, and you guys kind of come to an understanding. Or you have a conversation and you realize how toxic and negative this person actually is, and it becomes a lot easier for you to be able to cut them off, and you realize how much you really do not and don't want them in your life. So a simple conversation can go a very long way. With this conversation, I suggest 100% for you to talk in person. Miscommunications like over the phone or through text message, in person you can hear their tone clearly, you can see their facial expressions, their demeanor, their everything. You kind of know how they feel about the situation instead of just hearing or reading what they have to say about it. So long drawn out text messages never work. First of all, there's a bunch of misspellings. You're typing real fast, you're typing when they're typing, and it can end up being they could take something a lot worse than you actually meant it, because they're just reading it. It's like there's no context, there's no emotion, there's no nothing. I've done it and I've regretted it. I know it's something that we've all done, but when it's time for a serious situation where you need to actually cut somebody else out of your life, like completely, like this is something that you really need to do in person. With this conversation, you really have to make sure that you're not attacking this person. So if it's a lot of issues that maybe you have with them, they might have some issues with you as well. And even though they may be wrong in the situation, don't attack them, because anybody who feels attacked is going to react to that, no matter if they know that they're wrong or not. Nobody likes to feel attacked or threatened or anything. They're just trying to protect themselves now. So if you telling somebody everything that they're doing wrong and in a really aggressive way, and you like this and whatever, like that's not going to be beneficial for anybody, because there's going to be no point in y'all talking. It's going to turn into an argument, and then nothing's gonna get settled. And when you're attacking somebody, they have to defend themselves, and they can't really express themselves the way they needed to as well. So you know, this is supposed to be either closure or something that y'all could start to rebuild again. So if you're attacking somebody, nobody's gonna be able to do that, you or them, because you're gonna start getting angry, they're gonna start getting angry, you're gonna get more angry that they're angry, and they're gonna get, you know, We don't want that. So make sure that when you talk to somebody, you talk in a very calm way. Again, you can't control how somebody else is going to react to the situation. If they start being very aggressive while you're trying to be and have a really calm and mature conversation, then again, we're going to cut them off anyways. And this is just showing you more of a reason why you need to. But if they're trying to have they're trying to sit and have a calm conversation with you, please try and sit and have a calm conversation with them as well, so you guys can both say what y'all need to say. And saying what you have to say, it's like, don't have no half conversation. You have to put everything, this is the time to put everything on the line. So things that maybe you were too scared to say, things maybe you were too embarrassed to say, this is the time to put all your cards out on the table, and they can either accept it or not. Like, if you're gonna keep hiding things, there's no point in having this conversation anyways. Just cut them off, because obviously you don't want to try to fix it either. You have to put every issue that you have out with this person out on the table as nice and calmly and maturely as possible, but you have to let them know every single thing, so that they can, because maybe they didn't know. Maybe they didn't know that there was some situations, or you felt some type of way about something. I know personally an experience that I had where I felt some type of way about something, and I was in my head about it. I was just thinking about it over and over again, and it was really bothering me. And I was just like automatically thinking how that person was gonna react, so I didn't talk to them about it. And then it was just bothering me so much that I was just like F it, I'm just gonna talk to them about it. And they actually reacted in a way that was like very calm, very cool, and they actually apologized about it. Like, that was something I thought they were gonna freak out and they're gonna be like real childish and stupid, and they actually came in a really mature way and they apologized without me even asking for an apology. Like, they just did it on their own, because they realized, oh, I'm sorry that you felt like that. That's not the way the situation was. This is actually how it was for me. So I'm sorry if I made you feel that way. And I was like, thank you. And then we actually talked about it. I was like, dang, I didn't know that you were gonna react that way. And I was actually in my head about it. And they were like, why? Like, why wouldn't you just talk to me about it? And I was like, you're right. Like, I'm sorry that I didn't talk to you about what was bothering me, because this could have been settled hours ago, instead of me just being here like in an all grumpy mood because of whatever, you know? So it's better to put stuff because you feel better about it, and they can possibly feel better about it as well. You never know how the situation is going to turn out. So don't like put it in your head, you know, this is gonna be negative, so I don't want to talk about it. Like, you never know what's gonna happen. So it's better to talk and express yourself, because it feels worse for you anyways to keep it all bottled up inside. So again, this situation can either go either way. Like I said, this can be a conversation that maybe you guys needed, and now you don't need to cut them off because you've ended mending a relationship, and now your bond is stronger than it was before you had the conversation, which is 100% great. It is like the best case scenario ever, and this is 100% possible. This can happen. You don't know how many people like bottle things inside and don't express it enough. When they finally say it, it ends up turning out to be like a great situation. So never be scared to express yourself. These are your feelings. Don't ever feel bad for how you feel. They're your feelings. Like, and don't ever let anybody make you feel bad for how you feel. It's how you feel. Like, you can't control how you feel about a situation. It's whatever. If they can't handle it, then that's the other scenario. Then they don't need to be in your life. If they're gonna be toxic and negative and everything, then you don't need that, sis, okay? So it's time to cut them off anyways. And this conversation has proven that. I did everything that I could to try to mend this relationship. Obviously, it's not working. So that's it. So if you have somebody in your life that you think is no longer essential in your life, or is toxic or is negative, and you need to cut them off, watch this video. If you know somebody else that maybe is thinking about cutting somebody off their life, share this video because maybe they weren't thinking about all the steps it takes to actually cut somebody off. You can definitely cut somebody off too soon if you don't take the proper steps. And sometimes you can take too long to cut somebody else off. So definitely share a video with those friends, because now is the time, sis. Ain't no time to waste, okay? This virus is taking people out. Life is too short. We gotta live it as happy as we possibly can. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. If you have any other tips on how to cut people off, comment them down below. If you like this video, like, subscribe, share, turn your post notifications on so you don't miss these videos. Now's the time that we all cooped up in our house, so I want to give y'all as much of me as I possibly can, and I don't want y'all to miss out on it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video.